Grand Rising. Gonna start off with some poetry just to drop in and to share messages I'm getting. I'm so inspired by This Is Color Me Crazy on Instagram and the readings he's been doing, the leadership he has been guiding in his community. And the message that he gave me last night is that I've been getting lots of information and it's time to share some of that. So I'm going to drop in with some improvisational words speaking through me from all of our collective higher selves that we may need to hear now. We are in a beautiful time right now. And while it may feel a little scary, it may feel so overwhelming, like we're standing on the edge of a cliff and we may feel like we're losing our breath and it's hard to even catch a breath, and just know and trust that we are exactly where we need to be. We are exactly where we need to be. And I'm pulling up these cosmic catalyst cards, which are energies and art channeled through me from source, not really even made by me, channeled through me because these energies help us remember our power, finding our roar, connecting with the elemental energies and powers, unlocking our unconditional love as a portal, knowing that when we love, even across space and time, we invoke quantum entanglement. We take that leap of faith towards love, towards self-love, forgiveness, invoking the 0-point energy of the heart, invoking this egg of life, that flower of life that is within us all, bringing in our animal guides, our nature guides, awakening all of our energies and facing when we feel alone, to know we are never alone because we always even have ourselves. And beyond that, we have our guides. We are never alone. We have the remembrance of where we came from. It is there whether we admit it or not. We know and trust that we chose to come here in this mess to make it beautiful, to lay in Gaia's hands as we truly understand that we can always begin again. We can always begin again, even through times of disillusionment or anger or separation or red pill versus blue pill. We can invoke divine discipline and bring in these beautiful, loving, light and dark warriors, love warriors who are being born now through us as we choose to invoke the divine feminine and masculine, the sacred feminine and masculine within us all, this beautiful infinite loop of power, and follow the call and be able to surrender to Mother Water, even in the torrents of the hurricanes of life and the torrents and hurricanes of war and discussions and fighting. We can cut through all that, invoking the cosmic mother, the cosmic father, transmuting dense emotions through movement and other modalities, and reset back to self-love. Reset. Return to infinity, the 44 energy of cosmic family. They are here with us now on planet Earth and all across the cosmos, the universes. Returning to infinity, our inner child rising, running back to the self that knows that things are infinite, that imagination is true power as we create creation and we create reunion. Butterfly and dragonfly warriors, knowing that life is temporary. So let's let this reunion of time be sacred. And as I speak these words, source ripples all up and down my arm, knowing that divine reunion is here now. And I am so grateful. So anyone listening, the tool I'm using, I don't always see who's on. I can just see there might be a few people listening. So feel free to leave a comment to let me know you're here. And if you would like a reading, and I'm just offering this in Sacred Economy Energy, and if you're so called to do so and are able to, I have my information in the description for you to give an energy exchange back if that's available to you. And in either case, I am called now to do a collective reading for all of us using these cards. Really, all readings are collective readings because they're all one. So if you're listening and would like to have a reading for yourself or something specific, maybe even on behalf of someone else, I'm able and willing to hold space for that. So with these cards being digital now, I am just intuitively, there we go, make it a little bigger. I am intuitively scrolling through them and letting that be the way of shuffling the deck, so to speak. So for collective reading, I am asking the question of source, guidance, all that is I create daily ritual ways of being in my life, as I interrupt the flow of feeling purposeless, feeling like I'm just a consumer, as I interrupt that flow and reintegrate the fact that I know why I'm here, I know who I am. We know who we are, humanity and cosmic family. It's remembering. So please, any information or guidance that you're open and willing for us to receive in this day as we co-create. So I'm just intuitively scrolling, closing my eyes, seeing where we land. And of course, Reunion, which are with the beautiful models, Richard Moscow and Amber Tarver. This card is telling the collective to be sacred with this opportunity of reunion that we have right now on Earth. And as I said that, it was 7 minutes and 7 seconds I've been live, and that was just a confirmation of the fact that we have the opportunity to create sustainability within our 7 energy centers. Of course, there's even more beyond that, but our main 7 energy centers in our body, and then create sustainability and regenerative systems for 7 generations. And as I say that, more source ripples all down my arms. So I'm just going to breathe. And if you're here with me, just breathe with me. If you're here now or when you're listening at any time, creating solutions for 7 generations, like Indigenous and ancestor leaders have been telling us over and over again. We can't just live for the now in a hedonistic way. Yes, let's live in the now, but don't just live for the now. Wow, I'm going to say that again. Yes, live in the now, but not just for the now. I'm called to put that up on the screen because it's something for me. Every time I do these readings, I get something for myself every time. Yes, live in the now, but not just for the now. And I'd almost take that second now and make it a lowercase, because there's the now, the ever-present now, the infinite now, the now that we know we have access to, and also this small now of just feeling like we can just survive in this moment, which I can totally relate to. I know for me, with creating abundance streams right now, and all the challenges with inflation and affording to live, like one of my favorite artists, Wandering Monks, say, Wandering Monks have a really awesome song, and at one point they say, you have to pay to exist on this earth. And creating, like this card is saying, the opportunity of taking this reunion of earth time, earth school, earth opportunity, shifting the perspective from, gosh, earth sucks, why did I choose to come here? Or, earth, gosh, what is going on? Like, humanity just deserves to be just blasted off the face of the earth. And for us to recreate our reunion as beings and stewards for the earth. And I'm called to take another card for our collective reading. Is there something else? Yes, absolutely. So this is beautiful card with model Paris Latka. And as you can see here, she's opening her heart, and she's even opening her womb space, standing in that goddess pose and climbing that DNA helix to invoke that reunion I spoke of in a way that is empowered, in a way that brings that Leo energy, but from peace. Not Leo energy like I want to speak over you, I know more than you, but this energy of balanced leadership. And that's something that I'm really co-creating and discovering within myself and in my community now, with some amazing community co-creations that I'm involved in, and learning when I need to step back. So where can we step back and let others find their roar, and also find our roar through creating that space of reunion. So I'm really, really, really grateful for having put these cards together such that, you know, I'm able to see that they were spoken through me. They were created through me. And that's been a huge challenge. I've just noticed when I'm making posts, even saying like, I made these cards by me. Not that that's wrong to say that, because it's all just a choice of language. However, I've been starting to say created through me, because that is resonating for me now. So if anyone listening wants a reading for themselves or something specific, please let me know. I don't know if you're listening unless you leave a comment, and I would love to, because that's so fun. I did it last night and got all these people who I have no idea, I've never met them before, because just to share from creator to creator, depending on who's listening, I've been, I'm on my Do Renee Facebook, 0 Point Leadership Academy Facebook, on Twitch, my Authorship Revolution YouTube, my 0 Point Leadership Academy YouTube, and also I think my personal LinkedIn too. And I see, awesome, I see that Upasna would love a reading. And I always say this, and I said this last night as well in my readings, I'm not necessarily a psychic. Sometimes energies and senses come through that are usually pretty spot on. And so I just request that you understand that this is a reading for you to be guided towards your true north through the cards. So Upasana, just sit down, uncross your arms, uncross your legs. If you're driving, please let me know. Or, I mean, if you're driving, hopefully you're not typing. That's the only request I have, because that not only makes it hard for me to connect it, but it's not safe. So as long as you're not driving, just sitting down, taking a deep breath in. Let's go ahead and take 2 more deep breaths in and out. Awesome, Upasana. I'm glad you're sitting. Yeah, let's go ahead and take 1 more deep breath in. And it's Upasana. I said it wrong a moment ago. Upasana. Upasana. I am grateful that you're here today, that our energies have aligned in this divine time, and something coming through now is just some words before we draw any cards. I'm seeing that you've been holding steady, holding steady, holding steady. And sometimes it's hard to always feel seen in that. And being seen sometimes needs to start with ourselves, seeing ourselves. And so I'm going to actually do an intuitive draw as well. But before we start, I'm called to call in this card, Radical Quantum Self-Love, Reset. So I invite you to bring your arms across your body, bring your hands across your shoulders. Breathe in and out, and be in the self-love hug. Let's be in this self-love hug for a whole minute. And if you've never done this, it might feel funny, and I invite you to just keep breathing. This is a nice stretch as well. And I want you to focus on really bringing some appreciation to yourself through some affirmations. And then when we draw the cards from there, rather than needing an answer, the answers are going to be much more resonant. So let's just take another deep breath in and out. And I want you to keep holding this self-love hug for a while longer and keep breathing. I'm going to close my eyes and intuitively scroll through the deck. Okay. So I'm hearing from this card, and I just heard through my intuitive guidance. The one way I hear is through clairaudience, so I hear things very clearly sometimes, and it was retreat. So connecting to nature, having some time even alone or with friends is going to be so helpful for that reset energy we talked about earlier in the previous card. So you can feel free to share more details of the question you're asking about specific to with your marriage. And I'm just sensing that, like, no matter what's going on, no matter what the outcomes are going to be, to get back to your roots, literally. Even something I've been prescribing recently to people lovingly is getting your feet on bare feet on the earth, um, actual bare feet on the earth, going somewhere in nature that you love, with maybe both by yourself, even if it's just your backyard or somewhere in a park nearby or somewhere even greater in nature, and with some friends and family, ideally other than your partner at this time, will be really key to just really come back to what are my values, what do I want, and how can I reframe if I'm feeling any kind of uncertainty or unknowingness, or what's next, or is there a new chapter or season, and how does that look like for my relationship? Going into Gaia's hands, Gaia, our Mother Earth. Some of words of poetry coming through are the spirit of Gaia, Mother Earth. She's calling on us to invoke our self-worth. So what are ways that you can give yourself love instead of maybe worrying about always how someone else is feeling, and trying to be everything for someone else or do everything for someone else? Not that that's wrong. That's great to be that of service and love. And how can you be that love for yourself? And specifically, getting out into nature is going to provide you messages and information that only you can have. And so I'm called to do one more card as well. And yeah, this is exciting. So for you, there's this egg of life birthing, and it can be overwhelming and scary, almost like a pregnancy. I'm not saying there is a pregnancy, but that there's some birthing of something new. And yeah, gotcha. And so I gotcha. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that, Abasana. Thank you so much for sharing that authentically and really, and being real with me. And that can be so challenging. And so that makes sense that this card is coming through, the Egg of Life, which has my beautiful friend Deanna. And that last card, by the way, was my friend Kelly. In this card, there may be, it might be hard to accept that that is what your husband is wanting, but just know that there is this seed germinating. There is this egg growing. And I just got full arm source ripples or chills as I said that. So it's confirmation. And this is card number 1, which is interesting, going back to the start. And so, and I just got more source ripples. So connecting with nature again. I mean, this card has so many animals in it. So feel free to comment, like, what are your spirit animals? Maybe if you're not sure, what's just an animal that you've really loved all your life? Maybe volunteering or getting the animal or going in nature and trying to find those animals, because those animals sometimes are actually spirit guides who have volunteered to go in those bodies. And they have information for you, especially when you're physically close to them. You can also just connect to them in consciousness without being physically close to them. And I'm totally happy to give you more information on that if you message me. And yeah, so there is this egg of life, there's this joy that's coming, even though it might feel really scary now, kind of like when a woman is about to have birth. It's like exciting but scary. So it might be the end of something, and it might be, I'm not telling you what to do. However, with your husband and what you just told me in your comment, just saying, wow, okay, yeah, that is so hard. And I'm just grateful that you're able and willing to share this in this space. And that I know it might be scary to share it in this space right here online. And so I know that's hard, but also think of it as, wow, how great that we had 20 years of marriage, and that maybe we're going to shift into friendship now. And what does that look like emotionally and financially? I know that's hard. And that's where the self-love, getting in nature, being with others at this time who are supporting you. I also do lovingly recommend, for both of you, hopefully, not jumping into anything else right away, so you can really create healing in the next chapter for yourselves as friends or whatever you choose to do. And for animals, it's awesome. You had a dog and a golden retriever. I had a Labrador retriever, and love that you love all animals. So this card is perfect for you. So I'm seeing that, like, again, getting in nature, putting your feet on bare earth. Don't try to have all the answers now. It's so hard, and I'm the worst culprit of this, wanting to know all the answers now, wanting to figure it out now. Let's decide right now. Give him the space to feel how he's feeling, and maybe even saying things like, I understand that you want this, that you want us to transform our relationship, and I'm just ready to hear that, even though it hurts. And in the meantime, as you're thinking through this and as we're talking through it peacefully, I want to talk about it peacefully without attachment. I'm going to connect with animals, nature, my friends, family, so that we can find ourselves again. You guys are rebirthing. That's what this egg of life card is all about, is that rebirth. She's holding that egg of life, and within it has that literal shape of cells, that what the cells look like when they're in the womb of the mother and they're first building. So I just want to encourage you that you're in the right place, and maybe it'd be a cool time to volunteer at an animal shelter or something. Maybe it's not the right time to get a pet right now with everything changing until you figure out what's going on. However, just being with animals and nature, friends and family, that self-love. I have a radical quantum self-love 7-day teaching that would really provide a lot for you too, and you can find that on my links on my pages that you're on. So Avsana, thank you so much. If you're so called and you felt like you got anything from this, feel free to send a sliding scale energy exchange to my information in the description. And just really, really grateful for you. So I'm actually going to edit that really quick before I put it off. There we go. There. So I'll leave that up for you. If you felt like you got some benefit from that and you're able and willing, I totally welcome a energy exchange of those information, or message me if you need another way as well. And if anyone else is listening, I welcome Abasna. Thank you so much for being here, and bless you too. And we're all in this together. We're all in this together. And, I know it's hard to get that news. I've gone through ending of long marriages in the past myself, and now I'm on my second marriage. And this one is a lot more peaceful and communicative than my first one. And I learned a lot in the first one, and I'm also really grateful. They say, be grateful for the times you had, not that it's over, or I should say, be grateful for the times you had, and understand and honor the sadness that you might have. Of course, honor that grief of endings, and just focus on the good times. Maybe that would be something to do with your husband, and say, I understand you want this, and I'm not sure I want this. However, I want you to be happy. So let's sit down and talk about, our good times, to reflect on that. And then let's see what's next, if we could maintain a connection as friends, or what that looks like. So thank you so much for sharing and being real. So if anyone else listening would love to get a reading, I have a few more minutes to do so while my daughter's napping. I always do this while my kids are sleeping. And it's really, really fun for me. I'm inspired by Daniel Colon on Instagram, or he goes by This Is Color Me Crazy. He's amazing. Definitely follow him. And he inspired me to just take my leadership to the next level and start getting my art out there. And so while I'm waiting to see if anyone else wants to have a reading, I will do another collective reading, and that might be how we end, depending on if anyone speaks up. So this is going to be another collective reading. I'm just going to put that in the comments, and that way everyone can see that. All right, we're doing another collective reading now. So if you're listening this now or in the future, might you just take 2 deep breaths in, side out, mouth open, in, Source, all that is, we just asked for this collective reading for us to be guided in love and understanding in this next collective reading. Specifically, the question I'm feeling come through is like, what's next? How do we move forward? I'm hearing, how do we get out of the quagmire that we're in? And I laugh because I think of Family Guy whenever someone says Quagmire, that funny character. And it's funny, it's kind of a funny character for perfect that his name is Quagmire. What Quagmire means is like you're in a rock and a hard place. Like, what do we do? You have all this potential, but then you have these self-sabotaging behaviors as a collective. And so how do we get out of this collective quagmire? Collective quagmire. I'm going to put that in the comments for a question. How do we get out of this collective quagmire? That's so weird. I haven't used that word in so long, and that's just what came through. So I'm going to go ahead and put that up. How do we get out of this collective quagmire? And hi, kind Mithisha. Kind Mithisha, hello, aloha. So right now I'm doing collective reading, and I'll just do that really quick. And if you would like a reading, just let me know in the comments. And I will come back to you in just a moment. So collectively, how do we get out of this collective quagmire? Awesome. This is the Elemental Goddesses card, which is so perfect because it has my beautiful friends, Dr. Amber Galshani, Ether or Stephanie Persephone, myself, and Ingrid Henderson as the goddesses of the elements, air, fire, earth, and water. And so answer the question, how do we get out of this collective quagmire? Balance. Finding balance between all the elements. So physically what that looks like is balancing our economic systems, balancing our economy, balancing our social systems. Easier said than done. And also individually connecting to the elements, like I told the previous person, connecting to the earth, getting our feet on the earth. And just call it to take a break here. And I'm just hearing, keep it simple. And Spirit just laughed at me because I censored myself. I'm seeing the acronym KISS, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. So instead of stupid, I'll say, keep it simple. I'm not sure another word for S. Keep it simple, simple. How about that? Keep it simple, simple. That we can get back to the basics. We can start creating community-driven initiatives to create the needs that we need. And that's going to help us get out of this collective quagmire. So that was our second collective reading. And I keep getting questions about this. Last night when I did readings, people are asking, yes, I see that you want a reading, Kind. I'm just going to call you Kind if that's okay for now. And yeah, and so when will he contact me? So I am not necessarily a psychic. However, sometimes information comes through that people tell me is pretty spot on. So I'll just see what comes through the cards. And what I always say is you have all your own answers. And just like I've done for a few people who had similar questions, I invite you, uncross your arms, uncross your legs, sit up. Sitting up is best, but if you're laying down, it's okay. Take 2 deep breaths together, breathing in and out. In and out. Good. Okay, so I'm going to invite you to let go of attachment of knowing the answer to your question right now, because when we come from a space of wholeness first, the answers that we get are a lot more powerful. And I see Fatima has joined again. Hey, Fatima, I'll come back to you in a moment. So again, just knowing that coming from wholeness rather than I need to know, oh, I need him, will he contact me? Focusing so much externally, you're going to be actually more likely to create things you don't want in that situation. So I just lead with that and just take a deep breath in as I just intuitively scroll through the digital deck here. I got this card last night too for someone with a similar question. And so this card is called Transmuting. There's dancers going back and forth, and there's a little chaos. And so I hear that you had the question of like, will he contact me? And with this card, it's calling on you to focus on you for now. Whatever will be. The more that we try to reach for something and grasp at something, it actually gets repelled by us. A really great friend of mine, who was actually on the art for the previous card, posted something yesterday about something that we really want cannot be repelled by someone who has no resistance. So I see that you might have resistance to the concept that he may not contact you back, and you have to accept that. And so coming from transmuting, I want you to come into yourself, do some baths, some self-love time, do some things that you love, focus on you as if you were living without a partner or desire for a partner. I know that's hard when you really, really want it. But this card is calling on you to transmute, which basically means taking all the dense energies and transmuting them into something new. So a real example of that, just because I like to be more practical, for me, when I was when I was single for a time, between leaving my son's father and meeting my daughter's father, don't worry, Fatima, you can feel free to leave as many comments as you want. I'll come back around soon. Before doing that, I sometimes was coming out like, I need to find someone for Leo to be his dad. Like, it was coming from kind of a needy place. And honestly, I started attracting some relationships that were good in some ways, but luckily I saw the red flags and I was able to get out of them. And it wasn't until I let go of attachment, I just focused on myself. I even said to my friends, you know what, I'm just letting go of all expectations of finding the perfect partner. Universe, I'm just focusing on me right now, and whatever will be, will be. It was literally that next week I met my current husband, who I've been with for over 2 years, and who is an amazing communicator. We, in fact, had a challenging conversation this morning that we ended up very quickly coming to peace because we have those communication tools, something I haven't had in a relationship before very often. And so I share that to say, let go of attachment, focus on you. And I'm so glad this is resonating, kind, because see, and also go back in time, see what else needs to be transmuted. Maybe things related to men the first time you fell in love, what was going on in your life, what traumas could you, when you think of the word trauma, what comes through for you? What is a memory that you might have had where something challenging happened with your parents or family, or you moved, or a death happened? Go back to that time, let yourself heal with that. Maybe even go into some counseling or therapy, or find a coach that can help empower you to focus on you. What are your dreams aside from love interests? Because if you start focusing on your true dream, maybe you want to be an author. That's something that I am as well, and help other people do. Maybe you want to connect with the community, help grow community gardens, help people who have no food or homes. Find what your purpose is, and then when you do that, the right people are going to come to you, and people are, and maybe men will be like, wow, who is she? She's so confident. She doesn't need anyone. So, wow. So thank you so much for receiving that, kind. And Fatima, I see all your comments. I know you had the same question last night. And I see your comment here about, noticing he's been commenting or whatever. And I see like the same questions over and over. And you even said, sorry for posting so many times. So lovingly offer, just like I did for you last night and others today and yesterday. Stop. Take a deep breath in. I think somebody commented last night on the post because they were sensing something that they wanted to offer you with your energy and your mind kind of like buzzing. So let's take 3 more breaths in to reduce that buzzing right now, because it's not going to get you anywhere to be in that buzzing, busy bee thoughts. So breathing in. And you're so welcome, kind. If you're so called, kind, feel free to send me a sliding scale energy exchange if it felt like it resonated with you. $7 to $33, whatever feels good, to that information. And Fatima, let's keep breathing. Let's come into that self-love hug like we did last night, which, just as a reminder, just bringing your arms across yourself. And I'm going to offer this affirmation. It's okay not to know. And if you feel called to repeat after me out loud, feel free. It's very powerful, because this applies to all life. It's okay not to know. 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 And I'm putting that in on the screen for everyone and myself. I'm applying that to myself too. There's some things in my life I want to know now and I don't know. And I'm saying this to myself, for you. It's okay not to know. So let's see what card comes through for your questions again. You did just ask, so you don't be surprised if you get the same message, because you need to trust the messages that come through. Oh, cool. So this is Cosmic Mother. It's a picture of me when I was pregnant with one of my little ones. And with this card, for your situation, it's almost like I just got a picture in my head of a news article I've seen before, and that news article was about a woman who didn't even know she was pregnant and ended up giving birth and was like at the hospital and didn't know she was pregnant, and all of a sudden she was pregnant and had a baby. And so if you just look at yourself, you're going to see that there's so much potential within you aside from these other people. And I invite you to stop like looking at your posts and seeing who liked them, because you're wasting your energy, honestly, doing that. I would invite you to even turn off notifications on Facebook. That's something that has helped me a lot. I just sometimes I look back and see who liked things, especially with all the things I create, but not so much from a space of like, oh, I really hope they liked it. Because you see how that's coming from like needing versus, oh, I am Fatima. I'm just putting some possible examples. I'm a writer. I am a knitter. I create clothing. I create art. I care for my family, my kids, grandkids, aunts, uncles. Who are you separate? Just like I was telling Kind, who are you separate from love, life, specifically romantic relationships? Who are you? And Fatima, I see you asking the same question again, so I'm just going to end with that. Thank you so much for receiving that and focusing on you. Well, everyone, I think my daughter is about to wake up from a nap. I'll be coming live on as much as I can right now, not with a set schedule. I'm just loving doing these readings, and I'm going to end with one more collective reading. And the question I'm hearing right now for the collective, for everyone, not only on Earth, but for the whole cosmos, is where do we go from here? Where do we go from here once we create those solutions that we really want? Or how do we create a new way to relate to each other? How do we let go of the hate, and how do we... This one's Leap of Faith, which is perfect. It's about forgiveness, taking a leap of faith from the heart, unleashing our jaguar self, the energy of the green forest. And for the collective, let's just connect to our heart, forgive ourselves and each other in whatever ways that looks like, and be able to invoke that inner 0-point field of the heart. So let's just end putting both hands on our heart, giving our heart a rub, and ending with affirmations about taking a leap of faith into ourselves and a collective. So hands on heart, invoking the affirmation: I forgive myself. I forgive all. I choose self-love. I choose being here on planet Earth. Thank you all so much. I'll be coming on live again as I'm able. I'm really grateful for this StreamYard platform. Tarot Penny. Ooh, my reading. Well, I'm about to hop off. However, definitely hop on another time. Maybe I will get a reading from you. I just got one last night from Daniel Colon, which was awesome. And I got some really great insight that I'm still processing for that. So I appreciate the offer. I'm just going to end this by expressing gratitude and appreciate you all so much. We've got this. We're exactly where we need to be. We're exactly where we need to be, even if it doesn't feel like it. Peace and blessings, everyone. Namaste.